You good? You okay?
I guess.
Your hairs to your satisfaction? You were about to find a mirror, weren't you?
I can't do this. I'm a perfectionist, and yeah.
It means like nothing will ever get done at this point then.
Yeah, it won't. These things like matter, and everything, like the camera picks up everything. All right, let's just do this.
You ready now?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
You sure you ready?
Yeah.
Cause like you had this there, so I didn't know.
I'm ready.
Okay.
What's going on, YouTube?
What's going on, YouTube? It is Jermaine and Nona. She's actually in a video for a change. So, you know, how about that? Like, full out in a video, because she's always like, kind of like, she
Guest star.
shows up here and there.
Making appearances.
Even though her name is actually on the channel, she finally decides to make an appearance.
I finally decided to make some sort of a contribution.
Yeah, she graces us with her presence. So today we are going over about how people are coping during this pandemic. Everyone's staying home and then going out only for essential needs. Some people have not really been listening to that, as we've seen on the news. I think in the US, people have actually gone to the beaches. I don't understand how, but sure. I'm actually coping not too bad because I get to work from home and I don't have to travel.
Not coping.
Yeah. She's not
I'm
coping.
not coping. Honestly, I don't even know why, because I'm working from home. I think we're in a more fortunate situation than some other people that are facing a lot of challenges, like having lost their jobs, like small business owners. We were watching CNN a couple of days ago, and there was a restaurant owner in LA who was saying how the government wasn't giving him funding, and he started crying. And when I saw that, I started bawling my eyes out because I just felt so bad, you know, for this guy and everyone else who's in the same position of like basically at jeopardy of losing everything that you've worked hard for, or everything that you've put your life's savings or energy into. It's really, really sad.
And then you have on the flip side, big corporations getting tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Merca.
So I think like, even though like we're all going through this, obviously everyone is going through it differently and everyone's affected by it in a different degree or level, right? But I think either way, like whether or not you are in a situation where you've lost your job or not, it's still emotional, right? Well, not for you because you don't have emotions, but
what the hell is that all about? What, I don't have emotions?
No, like, okay, you're like the most, I don't know how to explain it. You're like a superhuman, like to me. In my eyes, like you're like almost superhuman. Because you're not affected by things like regular people are.
Okay, outside of this whole big issue, what else are you talking about here?
Like general like emotions in life.
What?
You have one emotion, and that's like just always being like happy and okay with things. Versus me, like I wake up in the morning and I'm not okay, and then 2 minutes later I'm okay, and then 5 minutes later I'm having a mental breakdown, and then
That's what I gotta deal with.
Yeah, like it's a roller coaster, but like you are like stable. Basically, you're stable.
Just give me the gym. Well, I can't even go to the gym, but like, just as long as I can work out.
Yeah.
That's my zen place. With everything that's been going on with the gyms being closed, I have been having to improvise. As you probably saw in previous videos, I have been kind of working upstairs on the rooftop. Or on the terrace, and just using like other like pieces of equipment that I'm just buying as I can, like whenever I can get them. Mm-hmm. Today I actually was able to buy a bunch of adjustable kettlebells, $200 a pop. Bought 2 of them. I need them.
What?
So
you spent $200 on a kettlebell?
yeah, it was the Bowflex.
Just one?
Yes, and I bought 2 of them. I told you this.
You didn't say it was $200.
Yes, I actually did tell you that. I said that each of them were $199, and then I'm buying 2 of them. I actually did say that.
You just spent $400 on kettlebells?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Because I needed kettlebells.
Okay, so I guess maybe this is his way of coping with this.
I told you! Because did you not remember when I said to you, that the shipping, if I buy both of them together, is $80, so it comes up to 500 and something
I didn't
dollars.
hear you.
So
I
then,
probably wasn't listening properly.
okay,
I do that a lot. I do.
you acknowledge what I said too.
I didn't hear you say that it was $200.
I
I think that's ridiculous. I honestly don't understand why you need to spend that much money on gym equipment. The gyms are gonna open up eventually, and just make do with whatever you have right now.
2021.
Well, I think that's the other stressful thing I think about this situation is like the uncertainty of it, right? Just like not knowing when this is going to be resolved and whether or not it's going to come back, because they've been saying on the news that in the winter there might be a second wave, and the second wave might be worse than what we're facing now. So even if, you know, everything opens back up and we go back to work and, you know, life resumes as it was, it might be interrupted again. That's kind of also like scary, right? Because you're literally like, what the heck is going to happen to our lives in the next year?
Hence why
You just spent $400 on kettlebell?
Well, no, they're adjustable kettlebells, right? It's not like just like it's a kettlebell for like 20 pounds or 30 pounds or something like that. It's
okay.
I need it because like I don't think when's the next time I'm gonna go to the gym.
Yeah. So we recognize that, you know, like our problems right now are like first world problems, and if, you know, if you're having challenges right now, like feeding yourself, feeding your family, paying your rent, those are really the important things. But I think nonetheless, you know, we're all entitled to our emotions and feelings, and like we have to acknowledge them, no matter how small or irrelevant they may seem compared to, you know, other people's problems that are bigger or what's happening like on a world scale.
And as you say, I have no emotions, so I'm just a robot that just.
I didn't say you're a robot.
You just
No.
Sorry, I have one.
He's not a robot.
I have one set of emotions.
Yeah, which is good. I think it's a good thing. That's like something that I admire in you. The fact that you like don't let things get to you as easily. That's a good thing to have.
The gym. The gym. This is the reason why before this quarantine all started, I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym.
I don't miss that.
Why? Because the alarm woke you up?
Sometimes it did, yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
now I'm not even really sleeping.
Well, now you're going to sleep at the time that I would normally wake up to go to the gym.
I would say that's like the one thing that's the worst, because I've been going to bed at like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm not waking up too late. Like I'm waking up around like 10, 11, which I don't think is that bad, but I just can't sleep at night. Like I have insomnia. I've been having these like wild nightmares. It's so strange. And I was actually Googling it because I'm like, okay, this is so weird. Like I usually sleep okay. And apparently a lot of people have been experiencing this. So I don't know if there's anyone out there watching this and you're like, oh my God, like me too. Like I've been having these crazy nightmares every night. Like I haven't been able to sleep properly. You're not alone. I think it just has to do with like the anxiety of going through a world pandemic, right? Like it's nuts. Like that's crazy.
Well, we've never experienced this.
You've been sleeping like a baby?
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. I've been sleeping like a baby. The only thing is when I wake up in the morning, I've noticed I'm on the edge of the bed and you've just commandeered about 75% of the bed. So yeah, stay on your side.
We need a bigger bed. So
no, it won't even matter if we have a bigger bed. No, because you guys still have a tendency to like spread out to claim like.
Well, we have a queen bed now, and like we need to get a king bed. I think that's what it is.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, we were planning to move this year, which has been on hold. So that's another thing, right? Like I don't know how's the housing market doing right now?
Terrible. In Ontario, or I don't know if it's Ontario or all of Canada, it dropped 69% compared to this time last year.
But have the housing prices gone down?
Yes, not that I don't know by how much.
So So, like, is it a
But-
good time to buy if you have the money?
It's probably a good time to invest. It's probably a good time you can possibly buy. But actually, maybe not buy, because there's not a lot of sellers because the market
Yeah.
is not good. So people are going to
Yeah.
be losing money
I mean,
on their stuff.
We would not be going house hunting during this time. Like,
Ugh.
I
No.
mean, yeah.
No.
So we've put our plans on hold completely until this is over, and then I guess we'll have to go from there.
The weddings.
Yeah, and then we had, like, I was supposed to be a bridesmaid in 2 of my best friends' weddings this year, and 2 of them have been postponed. One of them for sure, like, she's already rebooked her wedding for 2021. And then my other friend, she hasn't rebooked her wedding yet, so I'm hoping that they're gonna do it soon. Because
No, they should have done it now, because didn't you say that they wanted to wait until next month to kind of see how things are gonna go?
I think, I'm not really sure why.
I think at that point they really should.
I think
move it.
the wedding planners are only rebooking things up to a certain point. So I assume that what's happened is, like, all the people who had their weddings probably from this quarantine started, like, what was it, late March?
Yeah.
Like, I
Mid
guess
to late
everyone
March.
who was getting married from, like, late March to, like, May, June, they were booking those ones first. Like, they were trying to deal with rebooking those weddings first and then moving on to, I guess, the weddings that are a little bit later. I'm not really sure what the situation is. It's not the worst thing that's happening right now, but I feel really bad for all the brides out there who have to, like, go through this emotional stress of having to postpone your entire wedding to next year. And then, you know, you're thinking in the back of your head, like, is it even going to be okay next year? Because they're saying if there's a second wave, and let's say you decide to do your wedding in, like, the spring, and it's like,
Yeah.
come back again. Like, what are you going to do?
They said
Rebook again?
If that's the case,
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna hit into spring of next year.
Yeah.
And yeah, people are screwed. But I think at this point, if people have weddings this year, you should just rebook them until
2021.
summer of 2021. There's no point
To
of
be
rebooking
honest, like,
till
I remember
spring.
when this just, like, the news was breaking out, when they canceled schools here in Ontario, that's when I was like, oh man, this is serious. Because I don't think in the history of anything they've ever shut schools down. And then once all the news of all the other things that were shutting down came, like when they moved, I know this sounds really dumb, but when they moved the premiere of, what was that movie?
Fast and Furious.
Fast and the Furious. They were like, we're moving it a whole year. I told Jermaine, I'm like, they must have some, like, insider info or know, like, certain things from, like, the higher ups that they know this is not going to be over anytime soon, or why else would they move the premiere date a whole year ahead? I don't know if there's other reasons for it, but that's just, like, little things like that made me think, like, oh my god, this is, like, not gonna be over anytime soon.
Nope. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying about
Yeah.
weddings. Summer 2021.
Yeah.
That's the earliest bet, because your friend that's having the wedding, the thing about it is, even if let's say they start to ease restrictions anyways,
Yeah.
they're still not gonna approve gatherings of, like, large amount of
Yeah,
people.
I would-
So for that one, weren't they supposed to have like 300-400 people or something like that?
I think more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, I don't see the government saying, like, oh, it's totally cool to have, like, 500 people in a room, like, anytime soon. Like, I don't see that happening either.
No, and that's what I mean. Like, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, that won't happen probably the rest of the year. So holding the wedding until to see what happens,
Yeah.
I don't really think is a good idea. I think you just need to shift it over and absorb and, like, mitigate as much loss as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Because the longer you wait, I think the worse it's gonna get for you when you're gonna try to, like, you know, do what you need to do to end up trying to resolve situations and, like,
'cause
rebook
I think
stuff.
the problem too is everyone is moving their wedding date, right? And usually like
That's the thing too, right? 'Cause
like halls and vendors and stuff are booked, like you book those things like at least a year in advance. So the people who are already planning to get married in 2021 for the most part probably had all those venues booked, and then now you have all this surge of people trying to move their weddings to 2021 from 2022.
You mean
So,
2020 to 2021.
What did I say?
You said 2021 to 2022. I was like,
Sorry, I don't mean this is gonna take 3 years in my head. In my head, I'm like, this is never gonna be over. Like, are we ever having a baby? Like, I don't know if I want to have a baby in the middle of a pandemic.
what about the nephew?
Oh, my nephew. My poor nephew, like, hasn't left the house. Since this broke out in China, like, I'm not even joking because...
Your sister,
Yeah.
your sister really like from then? Back
Yeah,
then?
because
Oh.
I remember when this whole thing broke out, like, in China, like, my sister was like, this is going to get global and this is going to come here. And she was like, I'm not taking him out anywhere. And I swear, like, he hasn't left, besides, like, being in contact, like, with us, like, our immediate family. I don't think he's been in contact with anyone since, like, January.
Yeah, I think he's losing it because when I saw him the other day, he was just like looking outside like he was in jail. Like he's just like looking outside and he just looks sad.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
And I
we
know
can't
we're
do
like
much.
joking about this right now, but like there's going to be some serious mental health repercussions coming out of this. You know, I think if you're usually like don't have mental health issues, you might start to like have some anxiety. And if you already struggled with anxiety, or like panic attacks, like it definitely makes it so much worse. And I'm sure it's affecting little kids. I don't know, I'm not a mental health expert, it's just my personal opinion, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is causing a lot of anxiety in kids too, right? Or just think about like when we go back to normal life and we have to be in proximity with people, how is that going to make us feel? Because right now, like when I go out, like I'm literally scared. If someone comes too like close to me, even when we're going grocery shopping, I'm like, I start like hyperventilating. I'm like, stay away, like, like back off.
Well, as you saw in the in the previous video, I helped my friend and his girlfriend move. And I was like,
yeah, I was like, you better get some gear because I'm not letting you in the house if you catch COVID-19. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I would. I'll take care of you.
Why you lying? Why you always lying?
I'm not lying. I would.
Oh my God! Stop lying. Lies.
Is that your clean version of the song?
Yes, because I don't want to start trying to like edit and censor and all that stuff. So
okay.
Yeah. If you guys have any stories that you guys want to share about things that have been going on throughout this pandemic, please comment down below. Thank you guys again for watching. You can hit a like and you can subscribe for more. Until next time, stay safe and peace.